arguing about position players giving up home runs. It's the second hour of First Things First today. Rodgers and Saleh. Something. Coach, something? Just nod your head. Don't give it away. Something, exactly.
Wow.
I gave it away.
You gave it away.
Meanwhile, which quarterback do you trust more this weekend? The highest paid quarterback in Dak or the reigning MVP in Lamar? But right now, Chiefs Falcons. Kansas City averaging 26 points a game, but some question marks.
26 and a half, if you would.
Oh, I rounded down. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not even.
I'm going to say 27 then.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
No Pacheco, no Hollywood. Travis has 4 catches. Mahomes only threw for 151 yards. Mangini scrunches up his face during every time. Nick talks about the confidence. So, Nick, do you need to see KC's offense take off?
I don't need to, but we will. So, listen, there's a lot of numbers to back this up. There's also some emotional reasons to back this up, so I'm going to try to rapid fire them. First of all, the Chiefs have played 6 consecutive opponents, Coach, who were at peak motivation with literal season on the line in the 4 playoff games, or Ravens trying to get back for that playoff loss, and we saw how Lamar approached that game, or the Bengals, we saw, that's always their biggest game of the year. It is, they're literally printing T-shirts from a play in a game they lost. It's that big of a game, the Cam Taylor-Britt interception. Now, you get the exact opposite of that. I'm not saying the Falcons are overlooking the Chiefs, but what I'm saying is they are coming off a massively emotional win for them that steadied them to a degree. I don't want to say save their season, that's too much, and now they're on a shorter week against a non-conference opponent that when they saw the schedule come out, they were like, okay, we'll probably lose that one. Like, that, not a game they felt like we have to have. That's first. Well, I'm saying, okay, maybe nobody does that.
We all sit around in the locker room going, oh, yeah, we're in a problem.
No, I said.
Let's all take that week off.
No, okay. Well, listen, guys, if we are going to operate in a world where we say certain teams get other guys, get your best shot and get this, that world means there are certain games where you don't. And I think that for the Falcons, because of what happened last week, this game is a traditional bit of a letdown spot. That's point 1. Point 2, it is Mahomes in a dome. And Hubs, if we can put that stat up, I know these stats, we're going to kind of go the reverse order. Mahomes in perfect conditions is a perfect player, historically. Mahomes also in his career after a bad game, a multi-interception game, not quite perfect, but damn near. And Wilds made a good point that we're kind of numb to this stuff at this point with this guy, but it is true. And then there is the emotional piece of it, which is this is the first time he has ever played in this stadium since preseason, the year he took over, when he announced himself to the world with this play, which is to this day the furthest a ball's ever been thrown in the air in an NFL game. And all of those reasons tell me the Chiefs' offense is going to roll. Stay away from Jesse Bates, and nothing else on the Falcons scares me. And offensively or defensively for the Chiefs coach, the tight ends have killed the Chiefs, but Kyle Pitts hasn't had. Aaron Rodgers thrown for 300 yards more recently than Kyle Pitts has had 90. And so, I mean, he's a great college player, but so, yeah, I think Kansas City's offense is great, and I'm not worried about the Falcons.
What I agree with you on is I don't need to see it. I mean, I just got to be honest. I don't need to see anything from the Chiefs. After what we saw last year, where they looked mediocre to bad at points and then win the Super Bowl, I don't need to see it. But where I disagree with you on is I do not see the Falcons having a letdown. I mean, it's the Chiefs. Like, that's a game I would think every single NFL team is up for. And the Falcons, they're only 1-1. It's not like they're 2-0. Even if they were, they'd still be looking for the Chiefs. But they're looking at what Tampa's doing. They're looking at what New Orleans doing. And they're like, we are in the fight of our lives to get in the playoffs out of this division. I also think I get what you're saying about Mahomes, but it was a preseason game. My guess is has no special
No, I actually agree with that. I think
it's a nice, cute argument, though. But no, I don't foresee like a blow up offensively from the Chiefs, just because they just haven't really looked
Well, is 27 points a game good or not in today's NFL?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, how many? I mean, I know, Coach.
27 is good. 26.
26 and a half.
But is that what they averaged last year?
No, that's what they're averaging right now.
Oh, yeah, but I mean.
Last year they averaged 22, I think.
But against the Ravens, they got stopped a few times in the red zone. It was a broken play for Xavier Worthy.
You keep saying that? That happens.
Okay, I know it happened, but it doesn't. It's just like Wild saying, "We beat the Bengals. We really beat the Bengals." Give me, it was a broken play that doesn't happen very often.
They snuck by Baltimore. They snuck by Cincinnati.
Right.
You know, we could be having a very different conversation. The owner of the Falcons is going to the Ring of Honor this week. So free hot dogs, chips, and soda for everybody.
Yes, I did see
the
that.
Fans
Arthur Blank has inducted himself into the Ring of Honor.
Fans are
that is giving everyone free stuff.
Free concessions?
So they'll be
free
happy.
hot dogs, soda, and
chips.
Unlimited soda.
Not free liquor, but free those three.
Yeah, and you get up to 2 hot
cool.
dogs. You know, it's going to be the crowd is going to be off the hook.
Yeah.
And then when you when you look at this game, to me, I know we're talking about the Chiefs' offense, and hopefully they'll continue to improve because it's nowhere near what we used to be excited about with Kansas City. It's become
We're
more
1 year removed from them being the highest scoring team in football.
Become more of a defensive team. But even defensively, where are they in pass defense? Do you remember?
Second to last.
Oh, 31st. Okay.
Second to
So
last.
yeah, so they're almost dead last in pass defense, and I think what you saw from Atlanta at the end of the Philly game shows you the potential of this offense. And you can kill Kyle Pitts, and his numbers haven't been great, but he hasn't had a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins does a good job of, and that'll continue to improve, of getting those playmakers, and they've got quite a few, the ball. So we'll see how well Kansas City's 31st ranked pass defense plays against it, and they're actually pretty effective. I think this running game by Atlanta is very good and can continue to get better. So as much as you want to brush this game off as Atlanta's not playing hard or not going to play hard.
I didn't say they're not playing hard. What I'm saying is I think there are emotional letdowns. I think that after a huge, we see it somewhat consistently in the league that the previous week's game, for good or for bad, can impact this week's game. I felt like it was in a negative way hurt the Ravens. I also feel like I know the Bengals ended up losing, but I thought they played a really good game against Kansas City. I think that was in part because they were desperate because of how poorly they played against the Patriots. I think we see that the previous week can carry over a bit. Now, I will say, and I'm not trying to kill Kyle Pitts, I loved the guy coming out of school. He just hasn't been productive. I do think
he hasn't had great quarterback.
No, I understand, but still, not
even solid.
It's been below average.
I get that, but he came into the league in 2020, and he has 7 career touchdowns. Or 2021, he has 7 career touchdowns and hasn't had a 90-yard game in 3 years. It's something. I do think until Christian McCaffrey comes back from injury, they have the best running back in the league. I do think Bijan Robinson is the best running back in football. So
Kyle Pitts had a touchdown last game.
I understand. His 7th of his career.
You know what that means? It's time for a segment so hot, we bottle it, and my grandmother keeps it in her purse for headaches.
Okay.
It's upset alert.
I love the new.
For the 3rd consecutive week, I don't know who's going first, and we'll ask our producer.
Well,
Coach.
before
He
should have been in the show.
He had an individual blowout.
Go ahead, Wiles.
10-4.
The actually good Saints at home against the might be good Eagles, who are looking to bounce back from Monday's gut punch. Saints favored by 3. Here's their head-to-head ranks. The Saints offense is unstoppable, and the Eagles defense is still a problem. So, Nick, we'll start with you. Would your faith in Philly be restored, which it was never really?
Would it be would it be created?
Oh,
He didn't have any
win. Saints.
No, I think this is a spot where whomever wins, there's going to be massive incorrect overreaction to, I believe. Because I don't think the Saints are a great team, but if they win, they will be the talk of the NFL town next week. Yeah. And if the Eagles win, I think folks are going to convince themselves they should be 3-0. They were preemptively doing it. Should be 3-0. They blew the game. My concerns with Philly, I don't know how they could. There's one that they could soften, which is the defense going to be cripplingly bad again? You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
a good performance this week can at least make me feel like maybe they'll figure some things out as the year goes on. My other concerns can't be solved in a week. One is Jalen Hurts going to continue to turn the ball over at a higher rate than almost any quarterback in the league? We spent so much time earlier in the week yelling